How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about Builders Survival Plus Plus. So the mod name has been changed a little bit to Builders Survival Plus Plus, mainly because Builders Plus Plus was already taken and I did not know that. So that is the very first change of this new update to this mod. Now, another big thing involving this mod is a lot of things that was in the last video actually have been taken out for the time being, because I'm worrying about more of the technical side of this mod versus just changing the world itself. I'm wanting the world or the mod to be as the name suggests, that name being Builders Survival Plus Plus. So I want there to be other items to help you throughout the main game of survival before you start changing into other different types of playing. So instead of adding really crazy biomes for you to be able to use, so why not let you actually focus on the subject of survival first, and then at the end we're going to eventually add in the new biomes and everything else. So with that being said, let's go ahead and show you some of the new items. By the way, what we are playing on is we are playing on the Curse Forge app. We went ahead and installed the mod into the Curse Forge app on our own profile, so therefore we can play it in Curse Forge using other mods along with this to help us out in the tutorials. First one being JUI, and the other one being Better Mouse or Better Keys or whatever the heck it's actually called. That's where you can just click and you can drag and you can do a whole bunch of stuff like this. It makes a whole bunch more easier. And then another one is clumping for the XP orbs, because we have some other things inside of this mod now that you're probably going to want to have that installed along with this mod. Now, before we go ahead and get into these, I want to let you guys know that this version that I'm talking about now is not in Curse Forge's download yet. I do have the version of this mod without some of these items on Curse Forge now, ready to be downloaded by you guys. So go down in the description below, click on the link that says my mod, and go ahead and download this mod and play it for yourself. And here in about a couple more days, that mod will be updated into the version that we are talking about now. So these items we are talking about today are not in that version you will be downloading, but they will be in the next couple of days. We're talking about it now to let people get an understanding of the items before actually downloading them. Therefore, they're not too confused whenever they do download these items. So the first item that we are talking about is our Crazy Sugar. Gives you really good stats for about 2 minutes with strength and speed, but when it wears off, it is harmful to you for 1 minute. Now, the funny story behind this is we were making something completely different. I won't say what that thing exactly was, but we were making something completely different. And then it turned into this. So if you guys want to see us create these live and find out what the meaning behind some of these mods were, go ahead and go down below and follow me on Twitch. That is where we create all these mods live. We get some of your guys' ideas, and you guys get to go with me through the journey of even learning how to make some of these. So as it says, we go ahead and you consume it, you get the bowl back, and of course you get speed and you get strength. Now, literally by strength, I mean you can one hit a pig and a cow and a sheep and everything with just your hand. Yes, it's a little bit overpowered, and it's fairly easy to make. So I say if you use this during a PvP battle with one of your friends on a server or something that you guys play with using my mod, if one of you guys had this and one of you guys don't, it might be a little overpowered. But the downsides to it is, of course, it gives you harm, or not harm but poison, after that buff is over, and it gives it to you for 1 minute. So you can keep eating food all you want to gain yourself back up to full hearts, but it's not going to work unless you have a bucket of milk. And chances are, if you're in a PvP battle and if you're fighting against somebody that has this, whenever they hit their harm and everything, you hit them once they're dead, because they're going to have a half a heart left. So you hit them before they drink that bucket of milk and you will be perfectly fine. Now, one of the buttons that we added in here was mainly for testing purposes and people doing this stuff in creative. You will not have this option in survival because I have it disabled inside of survival, but I don't want it to go through the whole 2 minutes of waiting for this thing, which is actually about over. If I press a V, it will go ahead and take it all the way off, and it will completely bypass me getting harmed. So that was designed in the mixture of one of my ideas and then somebody else that is also good at making mods. His Curse Forge page will also be down below. He creates mods himself, and he's always in my stream, and he's always helping me. And he has helped me with a couple of these other mods that we'll be showing off today. If you have any other soup ideas or food ideas that you think we should be adding, let me know what they are down below. Now, these next ones you've probably seen sitting in my own inventory, probably knowing exactly what they are. But these are log versions of different blocks. Mainly talking about the log walls, since we have multiple different variants of the walls already in the game, but we do not have these as far as I know. Now, of course, we do even have our obsidian versions of those, but we talked about that in the first video, and those have been changed up a little bit, but they're also still in the pack. We also have the slab variants of these things, and then we have those right there. Then we have the fencing, and then a fence gate, which they all work exactly like you would expect. So now that we talked about those ones right there, let's show you the crafting recipe of all these. So of course this is just a bowl, so we actually got to go get the item back once again. But let's go ahead and grab that, and the crafting recipe for these is right here. So you have a bowl, some sugar, some mushrooms, and some spider eyes. Now, I know it seems a little bit easy to get, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it kind of is, and you get 4 out of it, but it's good for only 2 minutes, and then it harms you and makes you very, very vulnerable to anything that was to harm you, even fall damage. You fall from a 3-block tall area instead of a 2-block tall area, you will die. That is, of course, after it starts harming you at the very end. The next item we have, of course, is the log wall, and this is pretty much created with logs versus planks like you normally would do, or with cobblestone or anything like that. This is just logs made into the log walls. The slab is also exactly how you would expect. It is just made like a slab, except for it is made of logs. And, of course, with everything else, you just use logs versus planks, and then logs versus planks. Now to go over one thing that has changed while we're still in the process of talking about walls and everything. What we did with the obsidian before is we actually added the trap door in for the obsidian, because I figured that would be a good thing to go to. So this is the only thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to the obsidian, as far as I know. We have the obsidian trap door. So go ahead and use this to make a trap, and I guess you can make it look exactly like obsidian and trick your friends. Now the next thing we have here is something you've probably seen in other mods, but I decided to make this in my own variant, in my own way, and of course just me making it myself. Now before I tell you about these items, I want to let you guys know, if you do follow me on Twitch and you guys want to support me in the best way possible, we now have a merch store open for a limited time, depending on what you want. Some of the items inside of the store right now is only there for the limited time, and that is going to be the coffee mugs. So go down below, hit the link if you want to go ahead and get some of our mugs that we have in the store. We also have some sweatshirts, some shirts, a mouse pad, and some stickers. A lot of the stuff is, of course, my Minecraft character here, along with Nico's, and we even have a special mug that is going to be getting taken out in less than a week. Actually, about a week, it's going to be getting taken off of the store. It is a funny picture of my face, and it was actually a thumbnail that we used for a video. So make sure you go down below, click on that link, and go to the merch store and copy some merch to help me out in the long run. So the next item we have here is compressed cobblestone. Now you can probably guess where you've seen this from. There is multiple different mods that have these in them, but we decided to make it ourselves. And of course you can probably guess how they are crafted. Let's go ahead and get over into a new tab so we can actually search this. If you hover over an item, by the way, and press R, you can see the recipe for it. And if you press U, it will tell you what the items are used for. These are actually not used for anything other than helping you with your storage. You press R on the compressed cobblestone. Of course, it is 9 cobblestone to make 1 compressed cobblestone. And of course, the double compressed cobblestone is just the compressed cobblestone, but put in the 3x3 area to make the double compressed cobblestone. The next one is the double compressed, put in there again to make the triple, and then the quadruple, or the quad compressed, is the triple one put in there to make this. This is a lot of cobblestone in one single block, and if you have a stack of the quad compressed cobblestone, that is a lot of cobblestone. So if you're tired of having your chest constantly full of cobblestone, or even your inventory when it comes to mining, stay down in the mine longer and stop filling up your inventory and use this compressed cobblestone, especially when it comes to your survival. This will be helpful, not getting too far off track of being normal survival or normal vanilla survival, just helping you out with your storage issues. Another thing that we have changed since the last mod has been the ore textures, and along with how some of them work. So here is the Adium ore compared to what it was last time. It looks a lot better, and we also have the silver ore, the tin ore, and the demon ore, and there's all the other ores in here, which actually here's the copper ore, which I did forget to grab. Go ahead and put this like on top. So we have a whole bunch of the same ores, but everything looks a lot better, especially the demon ore. And we do not have the demon ore blocks or the demon blocks anymore for building, because I just didn't feel that they looked the best. And I don't really see many people trying to find that much of it to be able to actually use it. And these items now all spawn in the overworld. None of these spawn in the nether. along with the enchantium ore we do still have. The texture has been updated for this one also, and it also spawns in the overworld. Just kind of hard to find it. And we have 2 new things, the demon fuel and the enchantium dust. So normally before, you would add this ore along with 2 water bottles and the crafting bench, and you would get enchantment bottles. Well, now you actually have to crush it down using a hammer. We have the demon hammer, and then we have one more hammer, which is just the normal old hammer. These are crafted like this. This is black dye with some stone and some sticks just to make the hammer actually look black, and it's easy to make. And then of course this one is crafted like so. But this one's going to be an upgraded, so this is the cracked demon ingots. So those are actually made by smelting down the demon dust into this. Now this is made by crushing down the actual ore with the regular hammer, or I mean the demon hammer. But what is the difference between the 2 hammers? The difference is you can crush down every single ore that we have in this game, whether it's a vanilla game or whether it's vanilla blocks or the modded blocks. You crush it down with a hammer, you may get 2, you may get 1, you may get 3. Depending on which block you're actually crushing down. Now if you upgrade it into the demon hammer, it will double whatever drop you got. So if you get demon ore and you crush that down, you only get 2. Now if you get this hammer and you crush this down, you get 4. Now you guys are probably also wondering what the dust is for and what crushing things down is actually for. So if you look here, we actually have a crap load of different dust. So of course we have redstone that doesn't actually do anything different, nor glowstone dust. But we do have enchantium dust, we have iron dust, diamond dust, gold dust, emerald dust, and demon dust. The main ones we are going to be looking at right now are these 4 right here. Now I don't know about you guys, I usually don't have that many issues when it comes to actually getting ores in the game. But depending on where you are, if you're having really bad luck finding anything, but you have found some ores, why not just use the dust variants of these things to get yourself some more ingots? So if we take our normal ores and we throw it in there with the hammer, of course we get the dust. Now the thing is with most of these, and even some of these you get more, you use the hammer against the gold and you get 2 gold dust. It's 1 ore to 2 dust. And each one of them dust can be used to smelt down into an ingot. So 1 ore is like 2 dust, and each dust is 1 ingot. So it's a way to do ore doubling, and it even does work with diamonds. So if you somehow get silk touch before you get fortune, but you want more diamonds, use this with the hammer to get more dust, to get more diamonds themselves. So that is an easier strat ahead of time if you do not get fortune, or at least fortune 3 on a pickaxe. You now have ore doubling simplified versus actually using all these big machinery that you find in the big machine mod sets or the mod packs. So it's a little bit more optimized, I guess you can say. It's not too overpowered because you don't get a lot of it. You cannot automate it because we do not have auto crafting in here. So I mean, you still have to do the manual work, and it doesn't give you as much as you were probably expecting. So you are technically ore doubling, but it's not that overpowered. So you can do that with emerald dust, you can do that with gold dust, diamond dust, and iron dust, which is of course iron ore, diamond ore, gold ore, and emerald ore. Now the one thing that I do want to show off that I'm fairly excited about is something that I'm getting way out of my league for, that is technically okay and is usable for your mid game, I would say, maybe right before mid game, somewhat late early game, is these machinery things. Of course I have the fast furnace, and of course yes, it is way bigger in the hand than it's supposed to be. I still have to fix that, but that might actually make it into the next update. I don't even care. I think it's kind of funny that it's extremely large in your hand. But if we go ahead and place this down, go figure, it's really large in your hand, but it's really small on the ground. We now have an upgraded furnace, and this is just called the big furnace, so I didn't really know what to call it. So you guys can go ahead and give me a name for this furnace you think that would be really, really cool. But if we hover over it, it's called the fast furnace here. So we're going to actually call it one of the 2. You guys tell me which one, or just give me a name and we'll decide which one we want to pick. But if we hover over this and click R, this is how it is smelted, and it's a little cheap considering of how fast this item goes, and it does not smelt every single thing in the entire game. It only does ores, and it only does the ores that don't drop themselves. It only smelts the ores that drop the ores, even my modded things. So you got a blast furnace and a blast furnace with a regular furnace in the middle, and then iron on both sides, and then iron dust. So this is giving you the option, of course, finally going through some of the mods and actually making you use the mods to get better equipment. Then of course you craft it, and then it gives you this item right here. Now the reason why I think that this is a little bit broken, I think that I need to make this go a lot slower than what it actually does, but we'll eventually do that, unless you guys think we should just make it harder to craft this thing and leave it to craft as fast as it does. Go ahead and put one of those in there, and you guys ready to see why it's overly powered and extremely broken? Look at that. So it smelts items really fast, and it automatically spits out your XP at you while it's smelting because of how fast it is. You won't even have time to walk away and let it smelt. You just stand there, you smelt your items, and it shoots out your XP at you. Just make sure none of your friends are around you while you're smelting, because they could totally steal your XP. But it is really fast and really broken. Also, this text up here is also kind of broken. It doesn't actually tell you how much fuel you have in there. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. I'll have to fix that. But that is the one thing that we do have. And the next thing we are going to show off is the battery. This thing is extremely awesome, and actually we're getting into more of the electronical things that we've built actually this last stream, which was done on the 18th. So the stream we did before the 18th, we actually did the 17th when we did this furnace here and everything. We've been doing a lot of 3D modeling and block bench to try to get some of the things to actually work, and we did an 11-hour stream making mods. And then this one we actually created all these electronics, and we did a 10-hour stream, and we actually just finished it. And of course now we're recording the video about all of this. So yes, shameless plug, definitely go down there and follow me on Twitch so you guys can be there when I am creating some of this. So of course we have the battery there, and then we have the light sensor, then we have a fan, and then we have a cable. Now of course these are still kind of broken. These are not completed, so these will technically be in the game, but these will not be craftable nor usable when it comes to actually playing in survival. So we go ahead and place these down. They're still actually technically hitboxes. They have the full block hitboxes. Those are not done yet. They don't even connect, nor do they work. They can actually pull energy into them, but you can't export it into a block just yet. And then last but not least with this part is we have the energy meter. So of course, if something is getting powered, you can right click on it, and this has 0 out of 400,000, because this is how much this can actually store itself, but it's actually not storing any right now because I don't have that set up, because there's no point in having it stored. And then this right here is actually the part that stores stuff. You go ahead and right click on it, and it can hold 2 million energy altogether. And then this right here is the fan. It has 4,000 and it has 0 out of 4,000. Now these items right here help you with mob farm. Now what I mean by it helps you with mob farms is these can push other mobs. Now of course you can go your normal route, go to try to find a mob spawner, go do this and go do that, trying to set up your own little farm, or you guys can go ahead and of course download my mod and play this way. So of course this could be a little bit overpowered depending. Oh, hello creeper. You good, bro? Just go that way. Go that way. Just go. But anyways, it could be really overpowered. Now you can see of course that I have 2 eggs in my inventory, and we have a mob spawner. Now, yes, you can craft all 3 of these. The zombie egg is crafted just like so. You have a diamond in the middle, lava buckets, and then rotten flesh. Now, it does consume your buckets, so you're losing all 4 of those buckets plus a diamond. And then this one right here is a diamond there, and then bone blocks on the other parts here, and then another 4 lava buckets. So for every single one of these you craft, you will be losing your buckets, your diamonds, and in this one, even 4 bone blocks, which to me seems kind of expensive in normal Minecraft. And then, of course, the mob spawner, you have 4 iron bars, a diamond block, and then some rotten flesh, and you actually get 2 out of it. We might even make that go down to 1 to make it even more expensive. But of course, you can do this normally in survival. Once you go into survival, you can craft these things, and all this stuff works as long as you're not in peaceful. You place down the mob spawner, and then you right click on it with whatever mob egg that you make, and then that's what the mob spawner will turn into, and it actually works in survival. So of course, if you craft all 3 of these things, or even just one of the eggs and one of the spawners, you have the choice over which one of these things will be spawning inside of whatever room you make, and then of course make a drop chamber, and that's where these things come in handy. So let's talk about how they work and how they are made. Now of course, this right here is a light sensor. You guys can probably guess what it does. So this is the item when it's floating on the ground. It went under the ground a little bit there, but okay, it's actually still going under the ground. We gotta fix that. But this light sensor actually detects whether there's light or not. Now if we go ahead and take this, and we'll put it on top of this battery here in a second after we talk about it. Of course, the battery just stores energy. Now on every single side except for the top, it can emit energy straight out of the side into another block that can actually withstand energy or absorb energy or even pull energy into it. So if we go ahead and put this light sensor on top, and then we use this energy meter, if you keep on clicking on it, you can see that the energy is actually going up every time we click on it, because we're reading it every so often, and eventually it will get to its max point. Now if we look at this, it has 0 of 4,000. So we go ahead and put the fan right next to it, It doesn't matter whichever way you want to do it, and you can see that it went up. Now, of course, every now and again it seems to break and not actually continue, which I think that's just due to this thing going dead. But you go ahead and keep doing this. You can do it on every single side, and then you can see that it's still going up. Then we go ahead and put it on this side just to test here. You can see that it's going up. Break our furnace out of the way, and then put it on this side. You can see that it's still going up. Now, what does this item do in particularly? You can go ahead and put the fan down, and then as long as there's a path for a mob to go to, whether it's like 3 blocks or 6 blocks or however long, I don't even know how far it actually pushes the items or the mobs. We should probably test that out one of these days, but we're going to use a pig as an example. We go ahead and put a pig down here, and yes, it looks like he's walking, but it's actually pushing the pig to a certain direction. So whenever this pig moves and gets detected by it, which he didn't get detected by it, so have him fall at least a block ahead of the fan, it will just push the pig that way. Or you can go ahead and turn it around and have it facing whichever way you want it to face, and it will push those mobs. Now, plus side to this is it does not push you. So let's say you messed up inside of your mob spawner that is like 22 blocks high versus 21, so it instantly kills whatever mob doesn't have armor on, or you go even higher, so it does kill mobs that have armor on, and you jump down in there to fix something. It will not push you off. And I'm going to jump into survival here to show you. I am in survival. Let's go ahead and put this down. Pushes it. Us does not push, so it is not going to push us off of a ledge and kill us. Let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this thing pushes mobs at least 7 blocks away. Now, of course, if it connects correctly when it's standing on the first block, then I guess you can say 8. So you guys can do what you guys want with that and actually push the mobs off of a ledge and killing them, as long as you can craft those mob spawners and you can make your own little room up in the air, and you don't even have to worry about whether mobs are going to spawn or not. You can make them spawn using the mob spawners. So let's go ahead and go over how these things are also crafted, because it's kind of cool. I did a little bit of custom modeling for this stuff in Blockbench, so I'm actually kind of happy about it. So if we go ahead and look at the battery, we press R for recipe. You have a battery casing and some copper plates. So now we finally actually have usages for some of the other ores that we've made, because for a while we didn't have any and I didn't really know what to do. So if we go ahead and look at the battery casing, it's a little cheap, I guess, but I mean, it's okay. It's not really that overpowered until you get other items with it. So you click R on the battery and it has obsidian with copper plates and then a redstone dust. So of course you need to either find iron or diamond, or you need to find this obsidian in a chest somewhere before you can make this. So this is how you make it. You have the copper plates, some redstone dust in the middle, and obsidian. Now, how do you make the copper plates? We go ahead and put copper ingots inside of a crafting bench along with a hammer, and that will make some copper plates. And then you take another piece of copper plate and you throw it into there with a battery casing, and that is how you make the battery. This is subject to change, so make sure you check up on how this thing is made whenever you first try out the game. The next thing, of course, is the light sensor. And I just realized I spelled that incorrectly, my bad. But anyways, let's go ahead and go into there. This is crafted with stone at the bottom, and of course, since it's replicating pretty much a daylight sensor, except for it's actually creating energy for other things, which is based off of forge energy, go ahead and put a daylight sensor in there. Then we have the cracked demon's ingot, and then we have redstone over the top. The redstone, of course, is for the power. This is just because it's more stronger, I guess you can say, so it's more reliable, since it's actually like a doubled up freaking ingot. And then the daylight sensor, since it's based off of a daylight sensor, and then this base block is just, I didn't know what to put there, so that's that. And that is how you create a light sensor, which is spelled incorrectly. And then the fan is created like so. Now, this is kind of something I just kind of thought up. I don't know how we should create this. Give me ideas on things that you think I should change for the crafting recipes for these things also. We have the piston, and then we have iron surrounding it with obsidian in the corners. I'm thinking about making this a sticky piston, because in my mind I was thinking that the piston would be like spinning on the inside, and then the iron ingots would be like the blades, and this would be like the frame. So of course the piston would be spinning, and it would have to grip the blades, which means it needs sticky pistons versus just regular pistons. So that is probably also subject to change. And now we have the energy meter. Now this is how you pretty much register or meter or monitor how much energy something has in it. Now of course this is how you monitor how much energy is inside of another item or block. This is created using pretty much every single modded ingot we have in here, along with one vanilla and then other items. So you have the tin ingot, the silver, the copper, the bronze, the cracked demon ingot, we have redstone, and then we have the copper plates. Now the only one here that you have to actually craft, other than ones we've already showed you so far, would be the bronze. Now, of course, you don't just find bronze ore out and about, because that's not even how you get bronze in real life either. You have to craft it together. And of course, you do it with copper and tin. So therefore, putting those two together will get you bronze ingots. Now, the demon fuel I did go over just a little bit ago, but I didn't really go over it thoroughly because I figured it should be waited till we actually get through majority of what we have here. It's pretty much you crush down the demon ore, and then that right there is a lot better than regular coal. This is used for fuel and can smelt or cook over 40 items with just one individual thing. So yes, it's a little bit overpowered, but I mean, come on, are you guys just as tired as I am of mining a good amount of coal, and then 95% of that goes to smelting your items, and you have no coal left half the time you're ever doing anything, on top of also needing it for torches and whatever it is you decide to do with your coal? I'm kind of tired of it, so why not give it another coal or another fuel type and make it kind of good and overpowered? Now with the final items, well, I guess you can say final items, but technically what I'm about to show you with these other items, like the weapons, these are also new too. So if we look at here, we get the Adium pickaxe, the axe, the shovel, the hoe, and the sword. Now they are a little bit overpowered, and of course they're all made out of this. Now this is totally in game because of how overpowered these can be, because these can mine blocks way faster than diamond. And then technically, even though you're not in the correct version of Minecraft to get netherite, I looked up the numbers and everything for netherite pickaxes and everything, and these are actually all faster and better than those items are. If you click recipe, or actually go back over here so we don't start typing, and click on here for recipe, of course you need the ingots, and then finally something that I asked for, or asked you guys about, debug sticks. Now I made a post on my YouTube channel asking people if they wanted to see this in the mod pack, and I also left a choice down there for somebody that just didn't know what it was, and I explained it in the post. But most of you guys said yes, you guys would like to see it in there, so therefore it is in the mod pack. So we go ahead and click on recipe for that, and of course this is totally in game considering how overpowered this is, so that's the reason why it is made the way it is made. So in crystals, sticks, and then in rods. Now if you guys think this is a little bit too much but needs to be changed, then let me know what you guys think it should be. But of course it gives you 8 debug sticks, so I guess it's not too overpowered, but then it gives you these other items. And of course, just a little bit of an honorable mention, we have some random crafting recipes in there that's just not in the game that I didn't think should be its own video, and of course that is the shulker shells. Now of course we're not going to go too much into this, but if we go ahead and look up the recipe, we actually made it craftable to make shulker shells without having to go to the end. So we click recipe, it's just a couple diamonds and a chest, and that gives you 2 of those. And then of course you just throw a chest in the middle and a crafting bench, and then boom, you have your shulker box. Now this is just a way to go ahead and get your guys' shulker boxes for easier transport of items without actually having to go fight the Ender Dragon right off bat. So let's go ahead and finally get into the final items that I was wanting to show you guys today. And these are 2 different enchantments which you've seen thousands and thousands of times around every single mod pack and every single mod you've ever probably played, but this time we made it our own way, which means we can also add whatever we want to in there. And those enchantments are Vein Miner and Auto Smelt. Now Auto Smelt is just normal, you can't really do much out of it. You put it on your pickaxe and it auto smelts the ores that you mine along with a couple other blocks. And then we have Vein Miner. Now Vein Miner has a couple other variants of it. So there's Vein Miner 1, 2, 3, and 4, and of course they get stronger and larger the more you go. But these 2 items cannot be added together, so you have to craft these on separate pickaxes. So you go ahead and put this first one on there, and we put Vein Miner 4 on there, and there we go, we have Vein Miner 4. Then we go ahead and put this one on there and put Auto Smelt on there, and there we go. And now we have what we need. So if we go ahead and use Vein Miner on the demon ore, let's go ahead and put a crap load here, and kabam. It even works in creative, but it does the exact same thing in survival. You click on it, or you break it of course, and it vein mines all of it. And the cool thing about that is when you're up to the highest tier of vein mine, it will check in a 12 by 12 area of all those ores. Of course, the higher you go in tiers of vein miner, the larger the area gets, and it will mine all the exact same items in that area. And personally, I've always wanted to have auto smelting enchantment inside of Minecraft because I just personally think it's kind of cool. Even though actually having to go and smelt all the items isn't that much of a hassle, of course, with the furnace that we have and the auto smelting furnaces that we have you can make inside of normal Minecraft, it's not really that much of a hassle. Although also By the way, a little thing about our furnace, you cannot use a hopper to pull out items because it will pull everything out of the furnace. So we now officially disabled auto smelters and big automatic farm smelters and everything with those furnaces. So don't think you're getting too tricky with it. It is not going to work. But of course we go ahead and we mine that, and it gives you an ingot. Now of course, yes, it can be a little bit overpowered using this on other ores. So you know what we did, we make it to where it only drops an individual item. Everything only drops an individual item. So you may have a fortune or whatever added to your pickaxe, but if you add this auto smelt, you're only going to get one, and all the other ores also drop the same amount of XP. Now, is that kind of stupid? Yeah, I would say it's kind of stupid. Don't get me wrong, it is pretty damn stupid. But if you think about it, auto smelting can save you a lot of time and can be really helpful, cutting out 90% of what you do in Minecraft. 99.9% of the time you spend in Minecraft, depending on who you are. If you're a builder, then yeah, you probably spend most of your time building. But if you're a normal Minecraft player and you kind of just do a lot of adventuring and gathering of resources and everything else, you're 95% of the time smelting most of those ores down, especially if you do a lot of mining. So this cuts out 90% of the time that you're spending in Minecraft just smelting things down. So there has to be some buffs in there to also save yourself from being too overpowered. Now, of course, being overpowered would be awesome, but we just can't have that now, can we? Alrighty guys, that is going to be the end of this mod review of what we have so far and also what we have taken out. By the way, all the dimensions are taken out of here now, and so is our biomes and everything else as of right now. But it will be added possibly by the time that this video is posted and this mod is actually uploaded to CurseForge. We might have dimensions in there, so if you want to, go ahead and check for those dimensions, and if they're in there, hey, surprise, they're in there for you. But if you do not mind, go ahead and go to the CurseForge link that I have linked down below and follow me on there, and also comment down below and on the CurseForge page what you think I should change about the mod and add into the mod. And also make sure you download that mod and give it a try. Also make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you have not already. And if you do not mind, go check out the merch. And if you're lucky enough, maybe get you a little purchase on that stuff and then show it off in the Discord down below and show us what you purchased. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope to see you over at Twitch, you know, maybe watching me and helping me and giving me more ideas while I'm creating these mods. We put them all into a list, so I hope to see you guys over there. And yeah, enjoy this mod, enjoy everything I told you to go ahead and check out, and I hope to see you guys over there one of these days. And I'll see ya.